Everyone, I'm Cynthia Patnaud, Sexologist and Youth Program Coordinator for the Missing Children's Network. In this video, we will talk about self-esteem, which is one of the first protective factors regarding sexual exploitation. So what is self-esteem? Is how you perceive yourself. It's knowing that you are important, that you are worth it, and knowing about your strength and also your weaknesses, but knowing that you can work on your weaknesses to turn them into strength. What we have to know about self-esteem is also that it's evolving in time. So it's always depending on how your day have been, and also it's really influenced by your environment. So if you are in a really positive environment, then your self-esteem will get higher. But if you are in a really negative environment, then your self-esteem will get lower. So it's just a matter of balancing things and knowing that even if you had really a horrible day, you're still a good person who's doing everything they can. In order to illustrate what I'm saying, I'll ask Kim Gingras, our youth ambassador for the SHINE program, to explain to us how she deals with self-esteem from day to day and how it was when she was younger. And I'll see you right after. Kim, it's up to you.
Self-esteem. Self-esteem is a subject that I talk about in my classes always and always. I think it's so important. Self-esteem is something I had to work on as a teenager, as a young adult, and still now. I think it's an ongoing process, and that's why it's important to bring up the subject. In my entertainment industry that I'm in, we do a lot of auditions. So before every job, you are auditioning and hearing no after no after no. You're constantly judged on what you look like, what your personality is, what your dancing is like, your shape, your size, your height, your hair color, your skin color. So it's super important to work on that self-esteem and not need validation from the outside. It's something that I really had to work on, especially when I moved to Los Angeles. So coming from Montreal, where you do an audition and there's about maybe 30 of us and we all know each other, we're friends, let's go, this is gonna be fun. Then I moved to Los Angeles. I go to an audition, there's about 800 girls, all the best of the best from all around the world. And they're maybe looking for 2 or 4. So that was a big shock to my system. And that's when I really had to come back to what I've been training myself to do, which is to think of that little voice inside my head and to let those words be kind and full of love. So I like to tell my students, think of that little voice as your best friend. Well, would they be saying, you're ugly, you're not enough, you're fat, you're stupid, you're dumb? If that was your friend, well, that would no longer be your friend. So what does that little voice say? Instead, it should be your cheerleader. It should be someone that is just pushing for you and supporting you. So that's something I constantly want to work on, and I tell my students to do the same. So I've been visiting a bunch of different schools around Quebec for the past couple of months, and there is one activity that really stands out that unfortunately hurts every time I see it, and I want to share that with you. What we ask the kids is to raise their hand if they can think of 3 things that they like about themselves. Then we say, okay, put your hands down. Now, if you can think of 3 things you don't like about yourself, raise your hand. And it never fails. In every school, in every classroom we've been to, there is maybe 1 or 2 hands when we ask if you can name 3 things you like about yourself. And they're hesitant and they kind of raise up slowly. And then when we switch to things they don't like about themselves, everyone raises their hand. So that's something I want to talk about. I think it's something that's worth bringing up with your kids. It's okay to have these qualities that you like about yourself and to be proud to show them off, right? It's not you being, having a big head or thinking you're better than others, but it's embracing what you're good at and what you like about yourself. And then when it comes to things that you don't like about yourself, it's okay too. You can embrace who you are as a whole. Yes, you don't have to think I need to change this and this and this all the time. Everyone is super unique, and that's our superpower. Everyone has something to bring to the table in their own unique way, and that's something to drill in those students.
Thank you so much, Kim, for this great example. So as you can see, it's always difficult to work on self-esteem, and it's something that you do all your life through. So even as adults, sometimes we have a lower self-esteem and we have to find ways to build them up. So it's really important that we do as well for our kids, and we teach them how to improve their self-esteem by encouraging them into doing things they like, things they're good at, their talent. So it's really important to focus on what are their strengths instead of their weaknesses and encourage them. It's also reminding them that what makes us special, what makes us worth it and valuable is not how we look, but it's who we are and how we treat other people around. It's really important because we know that as we grow older, when we are teenagers, we perceive physical appearances as really important. And we have to remember that it's not the reality. So what makes a person unique, it's who they are, not what they look like, because physical look will change all your life through. So if we just focus on that, then we lose something really important. So we have to also remind our kids that it's important to focus on a person as who they are and not what they look like. So as we saw, it's really more easier for us to find good and positive qualities about somebody else than about ourselves, but it's really important that we work on that, okay? And another great metaphor that we can use is also the writing on a piece of paper. So you write on a piece of paper all the qualities about somebody that you like or you love, and then you crumple it up and you ask yourself the question, even if the paper is still crumpled up, do we still see what's written on it? The answer is yes. So it means that even if the person had a horrible day and went through all of those obstacles in one day, they are still a good person, and that doesn't take anything away from them. So all of those qualities stays there even though you had something terrible happen to you. And this is what it's important to remember and to focus on. If we can give you some tips on that, you can use a star. So you can take a drawing of a star and then write on it all of the talent and all of the strength of the other person. So you can do it 2 by 2, you can do it the whole family together, or if you have a group in the class. So it's passing on the star to the next person, and each person writes something about the person which the stars belongs to. So this star afterwards can be pinned on something, on a wall or on inside the desk, and then the person, every time they don't feel good, can take a look at this star and remind themselves that, oh, okay, I'm important and people are liking me for who I am and I'm valuable, I'm worth it. If you want other tips, don't hesitate to go on missingchildrens.ngo and you will have a lot of other activities that you can do with the children. So I hope you've enjoyed it. I can wait to see you for the next video, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Bye.